This is UMAR for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. With me for the first time this year is Barry Awad, Kid Galahad. Happy New Year, Barry. How's things?
Happy New Year to you. I'm good, my man. I'm good, Umar. How are you? How's everything? How's all the boys? How's Coogan? How's the rest of the boys?
We're all good, thanks. Just trying to keep the channel going. And
Good, man.
obviously boxing's back next month, which is good news. What's been happening with you?
Good. Nothing much, mate. Being in the gym training. My mandatories, obviously I'm mandatory. Mandatories, the date for the pay split is actually Thursday. So, looking forward to that against Josh Warrington. And, he's trying everything in his power to not fight me. Crying to Eddie, oh, I'm not fighting him. What am I fighting him for? And instead, who's he fighting? Some Mexican road sweeper no one's heard of. 50 in the world, 20. He's actually, imagine this. If you put 20 quid on Josh Warrington, you're going to win £1 back. That's how competitive the fight is. There's actually more chance of Leeds winning the FA Cup, even though they got knocked out last week.
Well, yeah,
imagine that, Umar.
He was scheduled to box Kanzu, of course, but he's ended.
Umar,
yeah.
Umar, let me tell you something. Go and do your research. The IBF never sanctioned it for unification. There was never a unification fight. There's never ever. They paid for an exception for whatever it is, and that was last year. How can it be a unification? You explain to me how can it be? If anyone had any brains, how could that be unification? If Tyson Fury come up to you and said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a unification with Manuel Charles," would you think that's unification?
No, and I get what you're saying because Santa Cruz holds that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's it. It was never unification. It was for the Ring magazine, what no one really cares about. But it was never unification, and he's there trying to con the public. Oh yeah, it's a unification. He's just a con man, isn't he?
But Barry, but besides that, let's just forget the unification thing. He was scheduled to box.
Put it this way, let me just tell you, Umar, he's getting, Timothy Lopez.
Yeah.
He's found his mandatory in it.
Cambosis Jr. looks likely, yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's going to go to Australia to fight this kid. Josh Warrington won't come down 30 miles down the road, or if I go to fight me. And this guy's going to travel halfway around the world to fight his mandatory. And Josh Warrington don't want to come and fight me. What does that say? And he's there on about, championship man, shit champion. He's fucking load of shit. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what it is, Umar? Trust me, since that last fight, he's not against me. He's not being the same man. All he's had is, he boxed that kid from France. It was like a build-up. That fight was like someone who's just got beat and they're coming back, they're having a comeback fight. Who fights that French kid? He's had 2 years to make these unifications and he's not. And now he's there shouting, oh yeah, Gary Russell Jr. Well, Gary Russell Jr. is not going to fight you because he's got to go and fight his mandatory. So how are you gonna get a unification with Gary Russell Jr.? Do you know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen.
What I was going to say, Kid, was that besides the point whether people believe that was a unification was Kanzu or not, he was scheduled to box him. That fell through. Of course, you are his mandatory. So when that fell through, did you not just expect, right, they fulfill their IBF mandatory obligation and fight you?
Yeah, I know with the IBF, they put that straight through. But he's trying everything in his power. He's like, yeah. Well, I'm not fighting him. No, well, no matter what, I'm not gonna do this and I'm not doing that. Well, at the end of the day, Eddie's our promoter. I'm his mandatory. Should be easy to make. Do you know what I'm saying to you? We're in the same country. There's this pandemic. Everyone's in the same boat. So why would he go and want to go and fight a guy from halfway around the world when he could just fight me who's mandatory? Do you know what I mean? He's just a con man, innit? He just chats shit. He literally, that's all he does. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, if he wanted these unifications, just like, Ricky Hatton or, Joe Kazagi in the past, where have they gone for these unifications? They had to go to America. So he could easily gone. But this kid don't want to leave Leeds because he doesn't want to fair a level playing field. That's all it is with him.
So what did the IBF say to you once Josh Warrington's fight with Lara was announced?
Well, they sent me a letter, and they basically just, when they give me the exception, it was not even for unification. It was actually just for the IBF world title, because they just turned around and says it's only for the IBF world title. He's not a world champion. Well, we don't actually have him as a world champion. He's just a regular title holder. It's only for the IBF world title, and he's got. I think it might have been to November. That was the fight had to be made and done, and then from November, February the 29th, they had to fight me with that. February the 29th, that was the end within 90 days or 29th of February. I knew what the rules and regulations are with the IBF. They don't mess around. At the end of the day, it's the law in it, and that's just how it is. Everyone's got to band by rules and regulations, and that's just how it is. And I don't know why he's sitting there complaining and crying and, oh yeah, this and that. Well, before that, Lee Selby won his mandatory. He had to fight that kid, whoever he beat. Then, they actually offered Lee Selby to Josh Warrington as a voluntary, and he said no. Then he won his mandatory. Then he boxed him for his mandatory spot. So, but then he doesn't. Josh Warrington, yeah, all right, yeah, he might have boxed me for my mandatory, for his mandatory. That was 2 years ago. But his man come back again, and he's had 2 years to make other fights, and he's not done nothing. He wants everything on his side. He don't want to take no risk. He hasn't got a champion mindset. That's the thing. His mindset is weak.
Did Josh and his team try and get that IBF title on the line for that fight with Lara then?
Yeah, they tried to, but they had to basically. I had to say, let him fight Lara. He agreed to vacate. I think he was going to vacate within 48 hours after he won it. But then, even to this day now, he's still on about, unification. Well, if you haven't got the IBF title, then how is he going to unify? Do you really think people care about a Ring magazine? Yeah, the world champion, or that's it. Do you know what I mean? And he's still there going about unification. How can you unify without a world title?
So you believe this fight?
He might as well just fight me.
Do you believe this fight will happen? Or
well, if it does go, then they'll strip him, won't they? If it doesn't matter if it happens, they're gonna, obviously it's not gonna be sanctioned, so they'll just take the title off him, won't they?
Kid, I think the connection's a little bit buffering. That's why we keep interrupting each other. But I think I got you back. So did
Sorry, my man.
First bid with you on Thursday? Yeah. Is that correct? Yeah.
That's correct. The first bid's on Thursday. I can't wait. Look, at the end of the day, I don't like him. He don't like me, and I want to fight Warrington. If I can't fight Warrington, then I'll fight for the world title, and that's it. But he don't want to fight me. He thinks I don't know. I think in his head he thinks he's up there. He thinks that he's entitled to all. Yeah, I've boxed Carl Frampton. The only exciting fight of his career was Carl Frampton. Other than that, his fights have been a snooze fest. They've all been crap. Who did he box? After he boxed me, who did he box? He boxed that French kid who was completely trash. Nobody even knows who he is. But he's there on about unifications. Oh, yeah, he's got a champion mindset. He could have went to America, could have boxed Leo Santa Cruz or Guy Russell Jr., or they offered him Shakur Stevenson, and he said no. But he didn't want to. So, at the end of the day, he just hasn't got that champion. He hasn't got that. The mentality that he talks about, he hasn't got.
But overall, you're happy with your situation because you're going to get a shot at this title anyway. So.
Exactly. At the end of the day, no matter what they say to me or try to persuade me with, my next fight is going to be for the IBF world title. It's either against Josh Warrington or whoever's next in line. And then I'm the IBF title. In fact, that's just like, that is literally taking the piss out of the public. He is literally, his fans, I feel sorry for them. Because he's literally conning them. He's making out that he's this and he's that and all that. And then he's going to fight some kid from Mexico that no one's heard of. Have you ever heard of this kid before?
I can't say I have. Lara, no.
Exactly. I haven't. We haven't. No one, he wasn't even in the top. I don't know how they got in the ratings. Do you know what I mean? He's 50 in the world. No one's ever heard of this kid. And he wants to sit there and make out like it's going to be an exciting fight. But by the way, Kanzu as an exciting fight. How can Kanzu be an exciting fight? Kanzu's had, I don't know, 30, 20 or 30 fights, whatever it is, knocked out 4 people. Yeah, all right, yeah, he throws 1,000 punches. Who cares if he throws 1,000 punches? People want to see blood. People want to see knockouts. Obviously, he don't hit hard enough to knock no one out. So how's that going to be an exciting fight? It's never going to be an exciting fight. People say, oh yeah, he throws 1,000 punches and Josh Warrington. Who gives a fuck if Josh Warrington throws it? People want to see knockouts. People don't want to see fucking someone throw 1,000 shots and not even budge the kid.
Eddie Hearn's made some comments recently saying that he wants to make the fight between Josh Warrington and Gary Russell Jr. What do you think about that?
Yeah. Well, how can he? How can that fight be possible? Gary Russell Jr. boxes once a year, and Gary Russell Jr.'s mandatory has just been put on the table. So he's got to fight his mandatory. Warrington's got to fight his mandatory. Just like AJ had to fight his mandatory. The true champion has gone and boxed his mandatory against whoever it was, Pulev. You know, Lopez is doing the same thing. The only one who doesn't want to fight, doesn't want to fight the mandatory is Josh Warrington. Fuck knows why. Yeah, he's this and this. It doesn't matter. Then you got to fight your mandatory. It's took me. I've been waiting nearly a year for this shot. So I'm not going to step aside for no one.
Is that why you've just waited around and not taken any kind of interim fights because you're in pole position here?
Yeah. Why am I gonna go anywhere else when my next fight is for the world title? Just like before he signed with Matchroom, me and Eddie, that was the discussion. We fight this Claudio Moraro, which was a big risk. It was a tough kid. He could punch. It was a very, very risky fight. And I took it, boxed him, did what I did to him, whatever. And I'm next for the world title. That's it. That's how it goes, isn't it? And now my next fight is for the world title against Josh Warrington. If he don't want to fight me, then he vacates. Then see you later. But I'm not stepping aside for him to fight for the IBF title against someone no one's even heard of. I'd understand if it was a vacant title, but he's on about unifications and fighting all these big names. But you know what I'm saying? Then he goes and pulls out this kid, Laura. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, Kid Galahad, just wanted a quick update yourself and this situation with the IBF. It's pretty clear what the situation is now, so thanks for clearing that up. Is there anything you'd like to
you make sure this comes out today.
This is going out tonight. It is
tonight.
Quarter to 8 on 18th
Good
of
man.
February. This is going out about 7:30 tonight.
Yeah, good man.
All right.
Good man, Umar.
Kid Galahad, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV, and we will catch up.
No worries, Umar. Umar, appreciate you giving me a call, my man.
Top man. Thank you, kid.